Okay, so today we're working on the boat, and that's it. The painting will be done. I have here Cadmium Red Light, Burnt Umber, Titanium Buff. Round brush, could be big, small, any brush you like, round or flat, or any brush that you feel comfortable with. I'm going to take brown, burnt umber, and a bit of titanium buff in it. If you don't have titanium buff, burnt umber and white is fine. And I'm going to work on kind of establishing where the shape of the boat. I'll start with the outside top. Then I'm going to go darker, take more burnt umber. I need the inside to be dark. So I'm going to take burnt umber and just kind of put burnt umber in here, leaving some white pencil crayon for the slats, wooden slats inside. Yeah, that gives me a good idea about the inside of the boat. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just simple kind of boat in there is enough. And I'm going to put a kind of a lighter brown in here. I really don't need detail, and you'll see I'm going to take more of the titanium buff or white into the brown that I have. And do the top part, trim. And also what I'm going to do is slats. Once this part is done, I'm just going to put the first layer of the outside color of the boat. So I'm going to take Cadmium Red Light, mix it with a bit of burnt umber, and paint outside part of the boat. Before I put any highlights or detail, I'm just putting the color in, and I'm going to take a little bit more brown with my red and darken a bit so I have room to highlight. Red is very strong when you highlight it. So I'm taking more of the burnt umber, especially the bottom part of the boat where it hits the water part. And then we'll highlight the top part. Now, since I'm doing this, I'm going to put more water in my on my brush, and it's still same burnt umber and red. So all of this is still burnt umber and red. And I'm just going to do the reflection. So because this color is kind of transparent, it gives me a good, nice transparency in here for the boat over the water. And I'm going to let it dry. We'll come back and we will enhance the highlights and the darks. I'm going to pause. I'm going to glaze those slats a bit because they look a little bit too strong. They're distracting. I'm going to do that, and also glaze the inside. We don't want to see too much of the inside. There's no reason for that. Also, what I could do is take burnt umber and maybe cancel 2 of those, and that will just kind of, that's probably better. All right. Okay, so now that the paint is dry, I'm going to highlight the boat on both sides. Usually what I do is I check where the light is coming from and I highlight this part. But in this one here, there's no specific light source from what I'm seeing. I can't remember when I took the picture how the light was. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take more of the cadmium red light and add a bit of burnt umber in it, and just I'm going to come here to the side and just kind of highlight the side a bit and highlight this side also just a bit, trying to keep the bottom darker. Let's take a bit of burnt umber here and just kind of, with a small brush, just kind of blend a bit of burnt umber at the bottom. Usually you get less light when this part of the boat curves in. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take again, and I'm just going to do a bit of highlight here in the water. Now it's up to us if we want to add more detail on the boat, kind of like burnt umber, a little bit of the titanium buff or white. We can add brown over here, or we can just leave it just the way it is. Or also what we could do is add a line right there. So,
and what color?
Burnt umber and a bit of white. Do a little bit right there also. Just burnt umber right now with a small brush, just to give it a bit of movement. And now I'm going to take titanium buff, tiny bit of burnt umber, small round brush, Now this is too white right here. I'm going to tone it down right here. That's too white, way too much. I'm just going to glaze it. It's better. Much better. And there's also kind of a pole right here that goes up. If you are not, if you don't want to use freehand, you don't want to do it freehand, just put masking tape and paint inside the masking tape. I'm going to do the same idea, but I'm going to darken this color with burnt umber and titanium buff. Try to get a bit of reflection of that. One more thing we're going to do, I'm going to take titanium buff and burnt umber and paint a rope in the water, from the boat down in the water. And with this boat, there is a floater, anchor, right here. It's white in the paint, in the original reference, but I'm going to do it red. Take some brown, put the brown right here. Actually, it's better if this part is not showing like that. It's submerged. This part of the rope is submerged in the water. Now we can add some detail in the boat if we want. Just using titanium buff and burnt umber, and maybe add a bit of some kind of a detail, because you don't want the post to be looking just kind of coming out by itself and there's nothing around it. It looks a bit odd. Camouflage it a bit. Right. I don't know if there are any. Yeah, there are some ropes, but I'm just gonna put a hint of rope, just so that this this pole doesn't look funny standing there by itself. Again, we can put more detail if we want, but it's just, or just keep it like that. It's fine. bit of highlights here and there. And we're good. All right. I'm going to pause. All right, this project is done. We're starting a new project next week.